Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso here on SABC3. Now, with the advent of spring from September to November, it's often a particularly miserable time for allergy sufferers. Just as winter ends and the tree blossoms appear, asthma, hay fever, allergic conjunctivitis, and even eczema begin to flare up. So with us in studio again to continue our conversation is multimedia health specialist, Dr. Darren Green. Now, Dr. Darren Green, I was reading here that if one or both parents suffer from seasonal allergies, it could be that their child is more likely to develop eczema. What's the link between the two?
There's a genetic link. So like you have asthma that runs in families, so your immune system also has coded memory sometimes of being allergic to certain triggers. Environmental triggers like house dust mite and so forth are typical. So eczema certainly runs in families. So I always ask the mom and dad if they have allergies when I'm assessing a child for asthma, for example, which predisposes them to bronchospasm and airway disease.
All right, we have a caller on the line. Peshni, good morning. Welcome to Expresso. What is your question for Dr. Darren Green?
I'd like to know what is the adenoid problem. The adenoid of the allergy. It also suffers from hay fever.
Good.
The adenoid.
So the adenoids are structures, the physical structures that we have at the back of the airway, at the back of the mouth cavity, as you go up towards the nose, for example. And we also speak about the tonsils, which are lower down. Now, the adenoids are implicated when you have chronic hay fever, sinusitis, and allergic rhinitis. They swell up significantly, which then you can imagine protrudes into the airway, obstructs the airway, and causes symptoms like difficulty breathing. You know, those noisy breathers. And then, of course, you also have snoring. So you often find in children when they have an upper respiratory tract infection or allergies, the adenoids swell and the airway is then narrowed, and then they have severe snoring at night. I mean, you feel so sorry for them. So that swelling can be treated. It can be treated by preventing, firstly, the triggers, if it's an allergic nature, or an infection, with the right medication.
Okay, definitely. Well, thank you. I hope that that answer was able to help Peshni. Asthma. I'm sure it's also something that flares up around this time of the year. How does one treat it, or prevent it? What's your advice?
So the big thing with bronchospasm, which is related to asthma, obviously, is that during the season, the load of pollen and triggers is just so high. So what you need to do is be on your preventative measures. So you get an asthma pump that rescues you immediately, that opens up the airway, but you also get one which normally involves an inhaler steroid that you should be taking every single day if you suffer from severe asthma, to prevent you developing bronchospasm.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Darren Green, thank you so much once again. This is one of those topics that we can spend hours and hours and hours talking about, but I'm sure people can get hold of you on social media as well if they have any more questions. Well, it is time for us to find out more about behind the scenes of what happened on the Shout campaign, so he has the details.